Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Crystal Vergara, and today is week 3 discussion board. So, we're going to be talking about management and leadership theories. So, my case scenario is pretty common in every government organizations, and this is about employee morale and meetings. So, here's the scenario. Employee morale is at an all-time low. There's a sharp division between faculty and staff. Such is the case that there has been a decrease in attendance for the quarterly lunch meetings, which discuss the strategic plan for the college. How can the ASM and dean resolve this issue? So like I said, this is a pretty common scenario. I currently work for the College of Education, and we have quarterly lunch meetings, where we discuss the strategic plan, and both faculty and staff attend these meetings, and we talk about how we can apply our strategic plan and mission statement to the college, and how we can better help students who want to become teachers. And a couple years back, before my time, there was not before my time, but before I was part of the, or before even the college planning committee came about, which I'm a part of. There was no plan meeting. Everything was pretty much governed by itself, the dean and some faculty and some staff. So it was pretty, and chose, basically the topics that they were going to be discussing in the meetings. And I guess a lot of people probably did not like this. I wasn't participating in these meetings. I was just kind of an attendee, so I just went. And I could tell that there was, there isn't a flow to it. There really wasn't a rhyme or reason for it. We would just kind of sit to for the presentation, wait for it to end, and then go back to our offices and continue to work. I think part of the reason was that not only was it part of our lunchtime, but it's like, oh, great, another meeting. What are we going to talk about now? Sometimes certain issues didn't really pertain to the staff, and I think faculty felt like that they were attending too many meetings. So why are we going to attend this one, which doesn't have any fluid rhyme or reason? So like I said, pretty low morale. Not a lot of people are attending. So, what can we do in this issue? How can we resolve it? How can we apply leadership theories to, gain those attendees back? Well, Theory X and Theory Y say two contrasting different things. Theory X says, okay, people are inherently lazy, they avoid work, they need to be controlled, and they avoid responsibility. Theory Y, on the other hand, says, you know what? Work comes naturally. People are capable of self-directing. They seek responsibilities. Two juxtaposition theories. And I think for a large part, when there was like that sharp, division of faculty and staff, like faculty versus staff, and why do we have to attend this meeting? I think management pretty much saw, okay, we're lazy, we don't want to attend, we're avoiding responsibility. So what do we do? How can we resolve this issue? How can we apply a better strategy for people to attend? Well, we could just leave them alone. We could just have a laissez-faire leadership. We'll just let everybody do whatever they want. Okay, fine. Maybe we won't make it maybe we won't make it as open. Maybe we'll just kind of let it seep through the cracks and let it kind of go downhill. Obviously, that wasn't going to be a solution to it. So this style of leadership was not going to work. Laissez-faire, no, we need to do something. Okay, maybe we'll demand people to go. We'll make these meetings mandatory. This autocratic leadership is about maybe needing control. So we're going to apply Theory X and we're going to make people go. Unfortunately, what this does is, people feel like, they're being pushed to do something that they don't want to do. And it's going to create some resentment, and there's going to be tension in the room. So that really doesn't work. It's a good idea, maybe making it a little bit mandatory, but maybe making it mandatory in a incentive kind of way, like transactional leadership, maybe providing lunch rather than everybody bringing their own lunch. Like I said before, it was pretty, great topics were discussed. So we were interested in them, but we would have to come during our lunch hour. And do you really want to come to a meeting in our lunch hour? I don't think so. Well, at the least that, they can do is maybe provide lunch. So this transactional leadership is that they took, or that they were brainstorming, was okay, maybe we'll, as an incentive, maybe we'll have a little bit of lunch provided for them. Nothing too fancy, maybe like a salad, some sandwiches, and some waters, and maybe a soda or two. So that was it. So that was part of the table. That was part of the brainstorming of, having more people come in. Also, they decided to go for a situational leadership kind of position, which was talking with both faculty and staff. Just a little bit of background. Both faculty and staff have their own separate kind of their own separate entities, so they all have different, they arrange their own meetings. So what the dean and the ASM should be doing is going and attending these separate meetings and kind of seeing what the employees want. And I remember the associate dean coming into our one of our staff meetings, and she was talking to us and asking, like, well, how we can make the college meetings more dynamic. And I think the popular choice was having that transactional incentive, which was providing lunch. I mean, that would, I think, make a huge difference. So these two leadership theories were chosen. Okay, we're going to do a transactional one. We're going to have lunch as an incentive. And we're also going to be talking to these different groups all the time. I don't know what faculty said. I'm pretty sure lunch was probably one of them too, because, lunch during lunchtime and it's provided, it's a huge incentive. So they decided to continue these two things. And as of today, they provide lunch, and both the dean and the ASM go to faculty meetings and go to staff meetings and still talk about, how they can improve on meetings. And with that, they also created a committee, which I'm part of. So I'm part of the college committee, so planning committee. So I, along with two other faculty members and two additional staff members, and the support of the associate dean, we discuss, the topics that we should be talking about during these college committees. And I think for a large portion, we've made it a lot more fluid, and we've been able to increase attendance. So, I think a part of leadership is having the sense to delegate with others, making sure that you're not leaving anyone behind, and that you're coming up and always brainstorming solutions to improve things. I can tell you now, what we're doing is we have another person coming on board in this college committee, and we're going to be more statistical, and after our meetings, we have surveys sent out, and we're going to be analyzing the data of how people felt about the meetings and the topics we discuss. So I think in terms of leadership, it really is all about having not necessarily a person who's like the great man theory. I don't think that really applies here. I don't think the laissez-faire leadership here applies. I don't believe that leader just comes out naturally to people. I think that leaders will delegate with people, will talk to people, we'll talk to different people, we'll talk to different entities to get the better feedback. And I think it's all about feedback and trying to create a cohesive nature, and maybe having some incentives in there so that other people feel not obligated, but just like, oh, there's this little thing that I can get. So, just a little bit of something to get them a little bit motivated, maybe. And with that, thank you all for coming and hearing out my presentation. This is my first time doing it on Screenocast, so hopefully it all went well. Again, thank you so much and hope to see you all. Bye-bye.